happy Halloween. Welcome to the Horror Fanatics podcast, new and improved. We got a new intro. I'm James Brown.
Ryan Brown.
Hope you guys are having a great Halloween. Got a time with your families trick-or-treating. Let's get into this. Now, first and foremost, if you have not gotten yourself a copy of this book, you are really missing out. The Glads Part 1, Part 2 is coming out next month. So you've got to get yourself a copy. Have it finished before Part 2 comes out. I'll show you what's going on. The first one has been selling really well. The second one I anticipate to go through the roof with that one. But you got to get this. You can get it on Amazon.com, BooksAMillion.com, BarnesandNoble.com. For local, you can get it at AFK Books on Shore Drive. You can get it at Urban Moon Bookstore on Chesapeake Square Mall. And so, yes, you have no excuse not to go get it. Go get yourself a copy. You just read it, just finished it, didn't you?
Yeah, just finished it.
What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a good story. The characters were developed well, I think, and the ending was awesome. So I think overall it was a good book, real good book, real well done.
Cool. You looking forward to the second one?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, first we're going to start off getting into The Walking Dead. Everybody was blown away by episode 1. Negan took him 60 minutes to become everybody's most loved and hated character at the same time.
Pretty much.
However, wherever you stand on him, you can't help but wait with anticipated breath for him to come up again. I think the fact of what he did was what had so many people tune in to episode 2. Expect to see more Negan, because right now he is the most polarizing character that they ever had in The Walking Dead. So what do you think about episode 2?
I like episode 2. I'm sure they had
no spoilers, by the way, guys, so you're okay.
Yeah. I'm sure that they had it was a little slower, so I'm sure some people complained about that, but it was necessary. You met some important characters that are gonna play a big role later on, and got to see what happened with Carol and Morgan, where they've been at, So I think it was a necessary episode for them to have.
Yeah, I liked it. It was slow, but following up what they came out the gate with, everything was going to be slow. Unless they killed a main character for the rest of this season, every episode is going to be slow by comparison to what happened in the first one. It was a filler. It introduced you to King Ezekiel, showed his background. It showed Morgan in a different light. Of course, a positive light. And it kind of showed a little bit more where Carol's head's at this moment. So it set the stage, and it also did show a little bit about Negan, about how far he stretches and how many people he's got under his thumb. It's not just Rick and his group. There's other people involved, but overall, it served its purpose. It wasn't great by any means, but it kept my attention enough to carry on and be interested in the third episode. What do you think? Let's just talk about Walking Dead for a little bit. We're going off track. What do you think about where it's going to go? What do you think is going to happen to Daryl?
Man, Daryl, not looking too good for Daryl. I mean, he's not going to die.
No.
Just because he's so loved and people would boycott if he died to riot. But I've been thinking about how they're going to go with his character too, because clearly he's you know what I'm saying, with the survivors,
the saviors,
yeah, with the saviors now, and I'm thinking like they're going to maybe brainwash him. Negan, he already has a psychological warfare that he does, so he might brainwash Daryl, and who knows? I don't know. It's interesting to see where it goes from here.
I think he breaks him. I think he breaks like he broke Rick. He doesn't like people. Even though he said he likes him, he has spunk in or he has balls, or guts, whatever he said. I think he still needs to know or needs to make him know that Deacon's the man, and that's what it is. So I think that it's gonna be hard to break someone like Daryl.
That's the thing. Like, what could he break him with? Like with Rick, he couldn't be broken except when it came to his family. You know, his adopted family as in the group, and of course Carl. Carl was the main one that helped to break Rick. Daryl, you know what I'm saying? All he had was the group. So now that he's already separate from the group, I only see what he can use to break Daryl. But I'm sure we'll something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we expect him to do quite what he did with Rick. Yeah. You know, Rick was the pillar of strength for so long and leading all those people in front of his people and in front of his son to look like that. I mean, who's to say what Negan can do, what he can't do? With this being Halloween, with this being the biggest night for horror fanatics, I posted a thing this morning about what movie brought you into being a fanatic. Where was the movie that made you say, I love horror, I'm going to stick with this? So we're going to talk about our top 5 horror movies that got us into the genre and got us to stay in the genre. The first one for me, as all of you know, or a lot of you know, Halloween. Halloween, right there, we got Michael Myers' mask right here. Halloween is, to me, the best slasher ever made. Which is saying a lot because there's a lot of great slashers, but it set the tone. It wasn't the first one, it wasn't the original, but it did it right. It was the first one to use great music and a great iconic villain that made you, even though he didn't say anything, made you want to watch him and made you, become enthralled by his presence. So that's my first one. What about you?
My first one would probably Candyman. I remember being real young when I saw that, and it leaving an impression on me just for the fact that this was the first movie that I saw with the horror person that was actually summoned. You had to summon him. So they had saying Candyman 5 times for a mirror. So it had every kid scared to go near a mirror.
Got the 4 all the time.
Exactly, get the 4 and then run. But that and being the first, I'm saying, black horror villain that I saw, you really see too many of those. Usually in the black horror movie, they somebody get killed in like the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But actually seeing the main villain in the setting, Cabrini Greens, the ghetto in Chicago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another first and another unique aspect of it. But yeah, that was and plus Candyman was so cool, like he was just laid back, like just came, did his thing exactly, and then just dips.
Yeah. Candyman was definitely that would have to be my second one, I would say, for me. Tony Todd is a legend, and he's only a legend off of one movie. I mean, not saying that's all he did, but let's be honest. Candyman 2, Candyman 3 came out later. Candyman, those 2 movies put him on the map, and that's what put him into being given other roles within horror.
Yeah, people like a lot of his film credits, like Candyman, of course, and then Final Destination. He only had that, like he had a big part, but not a lot of screen time on Final Destination.
Yeah, right. And he was also in Hatchet, Hatchet 1 and Hatchet 2. So he's a genre head. Tony Todd is an absolute beast. But Candyman, the score, like I just mentioned Halloween. Halloween is where it is because of a great score. John Carpenter did an amazing score. Candyman, I would say, is on par with Halloween or better for a score. That's saying a lot because Halloween's score is beyond iconic. But the Candyman score, I want to learn piano just to play the Candyman score.
No, my favorite score of all time.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to learn the piano for the Candyman. Well, that and Halloween, but mainly Candyman score. So that's number 2 for me.
2 for me would probably be Puppet Master. Another one I saw when I was a kid, just happened to, I think I was watching sci-fi or something, just happened to stumble upon it. And that, I thought it was crazy. These things, they don't talk, they just make little noises and kill people in different ways. And it makes a movie easy when you can get in touch for each character personality, and even though they didn't talk, each puppet had their own personality, had their own style, had their own weapon that they used. So that was another part that I liked about it.
What was your favorite?
My favorite is probably Tunneler.
That's what I figured you'd say. Yeah.
Either Tunneler or Six Shooter. I like Six Shooter too.
Six Shooter's cool, but we had to go with the originals because you're talking about Puppet Master, not so he wasn't in there. I think the most, I don't know, man, the most devastating. I mean, Tunneler is probably the most devastating of them all. Miss Leach is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
just the fact
she just grossed me out when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, could you imagine? Like, remember the scene? The guy's tied down, and he's like, if Tunneler's not barreling in his head, just the leeches, that's got to be ridiculous because they're not gonna stop eating. They're gonna keep on going until there's nothing left.
Definitely a bad way to go.
For me, the third one would have to be Hellraiser. Hellraiser. When I was coming up, USA around Halloween time showed Hellraiser all the time. And all I ever saw was Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2. And I was a big WWE fan at this time. It used to be WF at that time. And Mankind, the wrestler, had kind of come out around then. He has a move called the Mandible Claw, where he took his two fingers and shoved them down somebody's throat. And Chatter in the second Halloween, the first Hellraiser, did that. It made it even more awesome. But since we're talking about icons, we're talking about Tony Todd, Candyman, we're talking about Michael Myers. Wherever whether you like Pinhead or whether you don't like Pinhead, the fact that he was on screen for under like 10 minutes and had such a presence to where they made movie after movie after movie after movie is saying a lot. Yeah. Candyman got more screen time in Candyman than Pinhead got in Hellraiser. Michael Myers got more screen time in Halloween than Pinhead got in Hellraiser.
Sure.
Pinhead is one of the least amount of screen times for a first movie. That was a big one for me, for my third one. What about you?
My third one probably Pet Sematary. I also saw that at a young age, and that freaked the hell out of me when I was a kid. Pascal, his character, like he was a good guy, but it was just creepy.
Yeah, he was.
And then her sister,
Zelda
was
Zelda's dead.
And it was just a depressing movie. Like there was no bright side to it. Like at least like Halloween and Hellraiser and all those movies, like the good guy kind of wins, and to an extent, there was no winning for this. It was just depressing, but it was real. I mean, it served the purpose. It was real well done in that aspect. And also at the time, we used to watch the Monsters on Nick at Night or TV Land, one of those. And that's another thing reason brought me to it because Herman Munster.
Oh yeah, Fred Gwynn.
Yeah, Fred Gwynn was the main character in that. So.
Yeah, that would have to be number 4 for me as well. That movie scared me. That movie, like I was a kid, that movie scared me to death, and I think it's awesome. And for all of you, if any of you guys have not seen it, you can watch that today. And if you've never seen it before, it holds up. The 90s. Or late 80s, early 90s was a great time for graphics. It wasn't over the top, but it wasn't too old to where it's like it needs to be redone. Halloween, depending on your age, you might not be able to watch that today because it is kind of cheesy and kind of it's dated a little bit. 1978. I mean, what do you expect? But Candyman, Pet Sematary. They look amazing today, and Pet Sematary will still chill somebody to their core if they watch it right now. So for me, that's my 4th one. What about your 4th?
My 4th, probably Night of the Living Dead, the original one, because I remember it like Saturday night one time I saw that, and they're coming for you, Barbara, and all the like that. I thought that was well done. Really, I feel like I saw the original and the remake around the same time. So and we talked about Tony Todd earlier. That was another. I forgot about the movie at the time when we were talking about him, but that was another one that brought him to the forefront. Both those movies were just well done. George Romero, I still think is especially now with the whole Walking Dead thing and the whole zombie thing. I don't think he gets enough praise for really starting all of that.
It doesn't.
And those two movies are awesome. That whole Dead, Walking, Dawn, or not Walking, but whole Night, Dawn, Day. That whole franchise is legendary and genius.
To piggyback off what he said, for all you young people that say, "Oh, Walking Dead started it all," it didn't even scratch the surface. Walking Dead is like after people have been tired of zombies, here comes Walking Dead. George Romero took the zombie from mindless to smart. If you haven't, there's Dawn of the Dead. Or sorry, Night of the Living Dead, original and remake. Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. What was the other one? Diary of the Dead, Land of the Dead. I mean, he's done so much before Walking Dead even started. Before Robert Kirkman even put his first, pen to paper to write this graphic novel. So, for all of you that love that show, and we love it as well, go back and check out these George Romero movies. Now, granted, they're a little older. They might be a little dated, but that's what the zombie was at its core. Walking Dead turns into more of a thing about people than about the zombies. The zombies just happen to be there. But yes, George Romero, awesome, underrated, awesome. My fifth one, and this one was so. I have to say my fifth one's tied. There's a 5A, a 5B. My 5A is Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. I saw the trailer for it and was shook. Just when I saw Gary Oldman with a little butt on top of his head, just the old vampire look was creepy to me. And then when I saw the movie, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. I wouldn't watch it until I got to a certain age, but because I couldn't get past the trailer. And 5B would be Child's Play. I don't think any child that is around my age did not have this movie mean something to him, because this is one of the first that we were kind of allowed to watch because it was a killer doll, which not I'll say allowed to watch, but that killer doll aspect made us want to see it because we're kids at that time, young enough to really, we're playing with action figures, stuff of that nature. Now this good guy doll is coming alive. It was pretty crazy, and it made you look at your toys differently. Like what's going on? So that's my top five.
Mine. I probably have a 5A and 5B too. My 5A, you mentioned before, Hellraiser, Pinhead. As you already mentioned, the iconic horror villain in the movie was the tone was real dark and creepy, and it had like a lasting effect with you. So that's probably my 5A, and 5B would probably be Nightmare on Elm Street. But probably, what year did the original one come out?
84.
84, yeah. Like the original. What year did New Nightmare come out?
94.
I think
I will check on that. Do not hold my feet to the fire. I will check on that before I release this video, and I will, we'll know about it.
Yeah, because the original, obviously I won't tell later because I was born in 87. It came out 84, so I wasn't alive when it came out. New Nightmare, that's one I probably remember the most vividly of the franchise. I remember seeing first, and it was so confusing because at that age, it was hard to tell if it was a movie or real because the way it was. If you haven't seen it, the way it was set up, it was basically like they were talking like the characters were real.
Playing themselves.
They were playing themselves basically. So, and that made it all the more appealing. So I think that'd be my 5B.
Yeah. So I am wondering what your top five movies that got you involved and got you really started in loving the genre were. Leave comments on these on this video. Let us know. Also, comment about the intro. Let me know what you thought about it. If you like it, how can it be improved? How can it be tweaked? Also, get yourself a copy of the Glads. Like I've said it before, Amazon.com, BooksAndMain.com, BarnesandNoble.com, AFK Books for local people on Short Drive, Urban Moon bookstores, Chesapeake Square Mall. It's the second one's coming out soon, so make sure you get it before the second one's released. And if any suggestions to just improve the podcast, to improve the Facebook page, still working on the website. I promise you it's coming. I know it's taking a while, but it is coming. But I need you guys' help because I'm doing this for fans of horror, and I want to get out to as many as possible. So any suggestions are welcome. Do you have anything else to say?
No, not really. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up our first episode of our new season. Instead of doing it week to week, because every week is a little tough with scheduling and everything. So I'm going to do one a month. This being the first, and so I know this is the end of probably the end of each month. We'll do another podcast. If you would like to be a part of it, please Facebook message me. Email me at horrorfanaticsunlimited@gmail.com, and just reach out. And even if you're not local, we can do a Skype call or a call in and have you just kind of talk about our topics. Whoever wants to be in it, you're more than welcome. So you know where to find us. Until next time, scaring is caring. This is James Brown.
Ryan Brown. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. See you guys next time.